my name is Deanna Daham. This is Ducky. And today we are going to be telling you sleep, why it is important and why we need it, and most importantly, why the lack of it is dangerous. Imagine this, you or me, and you are running on 2, maybe 3 hours of sleep and for a night for about 9 or so days. And this means you're going to work for 40 plus hours through this time. You're going home and you're cleaning, you're going home doing your homework, and you're just really overwhelming yourself. This was me earlier this month and later last month too. And now you might be thinking, why would you be willing to do this to yourself? Well, to put it in very simple terms, I was running to keep up with everything that I had put on my shoulders. I had put too much over my shoulders and I was overworking myself. And because of the lack of sleep I ended up making myself sick. Sleep is essential for the human body. It helps us regulate our body's cognitive function and the emotional stability, and it repairs the bodies. It repairs the body by clearing toxins, hormones, and sorting the memories and such forth that we have throughout the day, and it helps us with muscle repairs and tissue repairs at nighttime too. And this being said, the lack of sleep that we don't get can not only be harmful but flat out dangerous to us. Not only does it pose a public safety risk, but it also poses a catalyst of life-threatening diseases for an individual. We have all pulled all-nighters or stayed up much later than we should have. And then the next day we felt like absolute hot garbage or just absolutely drained. So, the health risks of sleep deprivation and what it can do to the human body is very dangerous to not only your cognitive function, but your body, but also to your mental health as well. Sleep deprivation over a certain amount of time is the equivalent of being drunk, and it can also lead to a complete mental breakdown. Sleep deprivation is a serious safety hazard. It impairs your cognitive function and your decision making, and it can also lead to an accident. Sleep deprivation is a very serious safety hazard. According to the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, or NIOSH, being awake for 17 hours is similar to having a BCAA of 0.5%, and 24 hours is similar to having a 0.10%. And for those who might not understand what a BCAA is, it means having a blood alcohol level. And to put this in further perspective, to have a blood alcohol level of 0.10%, you would need to have about 4 to 5 beers. And if you can imagine this might be a bit much for anyone. And now, can you imagine functioning like a normal person after having that many beers, or even having to drive? It would be incredibly difficult, and it would not only be risking your own life, but others as well, and their safety too. Cognitive function is weakened the less sleep you get. In an article on the National Center of Biotechnology Information's website, The Consequences of Sleep Deprivation and Cognitive Performance, the lack of sleep that reduces your alertness, retention span, and the memory consolidation, because our brain does not have enough time to recover the prefrontal cortex and the thalamus, which are normally repaired during the REM cycle sleep. The body needs time to repair itself every day, and this is usually done during the REM cycle of sleep. It not only repairs our brain and how we function and store memories, but it also repairs our muscles and our organs and even our hormones, all things that are crucial to how we function. Over an extended period of time, what we don't realize is that the sleep that our body is not getting is creating a catalyst of deadly health risks for us in the future and in the present too. The lack of sleep that the body is not getting not only affects us in the present, but in the long term too. It creates health issues that weaken our immune system and increases the likelihood of you getting a chronic disease. As reported by Johns Hopkins Medicine Health Infographic, the effects of sleep deprivation, the body is 36% more likely to develop a colorectal cancer and 3 times more likely to have type 2 diabetes. It is 33% more increase of developing dementia, and also 48% more likely to have a heart disease, the long-term effects after sleep deprivation. the body is much more likely to have a weakened immune system as well when you're running on an inefficient lack of sleep. So risks of cold and flu might be harder on the body than someone who is getting efficient sleep. Our other health risks also include like higher blood pressure, weakened muscles, weight issues, or even mental issues too. The effects of sleep deprivation on the cardiovascular system cannot be underestimated as well. As said earlier, sleep deprivation can cause heart disease in the long run, but it can also present problems in the present as well by causing someone to have a stroke due to the imbalances on the nocturnal blood pressure around the heart. It's important that we mention one of the most damaging effects to the sleep deprivation on the body, which is the effect on the mind and mental health, that not only how it causes us to function every day, but how it can cause us to have a complete mental breakdown. So sleep deprivation is not only the effect of our mental state and how it is considered one of the most dangerous effects of sleep deprivation because of how vulnerable our minds are, but it also is decisions we might be giving in the right. It is basically what we might do given the right circumstances. Sleep deprivation has a huge impact on our mental health and the well-being of our body. Fighting fatigue, when our body's fighting fatigue, it leaves the mind vulnerable and weakened. Some of the main effects of sleep deprivation on the mind are increased vulnerability, anxiety, inconsistent mood swings, and a major cognitive impairment on this decision making. So, as stated by Columbia University Review Medical Journal and Center, how the sleep deprivation affects the mental health. In extreme cases of long-term sleep deprivation, people have even experienced complete mental breakdowns. And in some even extreme cases of paranoia, hallucinations, psychosis, and even suicide. The REM cycle of sleep helps our brains reset the chemical imbalance and hormonally. And during this time, we also get rid of toxins that might be damaging for our brain. So when our brains don't get enough time to reset, it creates an offset and it creates an imbalance where solutions like that might seem irrational to some people might end up happening. And as you can see here, the memory problems and such with and difficulty focusing also have an effect on there. There are many reasons why. It also affects our mental health. Sleep is essentially the human body's reset. And when the body is in a deficit, it creates not only a dangerous situation for not only the person in the physical and mental it creates a dangerous situation for not only the person's physical and mental well-being, but it also creates a public danger for others as well. Sleep can also cause a serious safety risk for others under certain circumstances. It not only causes major cognitive functions and impairment on decision making, but like I said, it can have an effect on your blood alcohol level, going from 5% at 17 hours to even 0.10% at 24 hours. Sleep deprivation causes extreme risk on one's health. The short term and the long term, because not only the effects on the immune system in the way that it responds to certain things, sleep deprivation can also cause extreme stress on the mental state, causing things like irritability, anxiety, and major cognitive functions, and even as far as people as committing suicide. We have all been in a state where we have lost sleep or felt out of it and did not get any because of how chaotic life can be sometimes. But I know for me, it felt like I could not catch a break, and I was running to catch up with everything. And after all this research and hearing how this might affect all our bodies and hearing this information, I believe that we can all take something away from this. So, I will leave you with this. If you have to choose between sleep and work, in completing a task or just life in general, please consider the well-being of your own health and choose to remember that you're not only putting yourself at risk, you're putting other people at risk with the sleep deprivation that you're putting yourself into. This is my sources and citations. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much.